Savvy Savings.
Exactly that. Time for Savvy Savings. And today on the show, really wanted to focus on a London-based charity that we've had the good fortune of having on the show before. Talk about the great work that they're doing, especially here at the beginning of the year. Dress for Success Greater London. It's a charity that helps women who have faced various types of circumstances, but to get ready and get back to work, whether that's through professional outfits, could well be gearing them up for interviews, giving them that confidence boosting coaching, but also providing them that one-to-one support when they are back in employment. I wanted to get an understanding more so of that, what that looks like now. And I'm joined in the studio with Samantha Latouche, who's the Executive Director for Dress for Success Greater London. You can get more details on dressforsuccessgl.org. I'm also joined in the studio with Sherry, who's currently taking part in their workforce development program. So it'll be great to get an understanding of how that program's going for her. And I have Melanie Wellard, who is one of the brilliant volunteers who provides a lot of support as well. It's great to have you all here. Thank you for coming in today. So I guess my first question really is for yourself, Samantha. It's great to have you back on the show. For anyone unfamiliar, how would you kind of describe like the mission of Dress for Success Greater London, but also, you know, the impact that you've had since launching?
Yeah, so the mission is very clear. It's about female economic empowerment, and that's through helping the women that come through our doors to feel confident in their job search and in their job interviews by providing not just clothing, but workforce empowerment programs and also interview coaching as well.
What kind of, would you say some of the biggest barriers then that you're speaking to, you're hearing from women based in London around trying to perhaps, you know, re-enter workforce, and how have you been able to kind of provide that support as an organisation?
So sometimes the biggest barrier is the confidence levels that some of the women walk through the door with, and I think I've already spoken about previous when I was on the show about the transformative journey that takes place when you see a woman that arrives for her first appointment with us, and then how she transforms when she leaves, much more confident about what she's about to embark on. I think that we can work with women for up to 15 months. So even if that person might get the interview wardrobe, if they don't get the job, come back, sign up to one of our workforce development programs as well, which we'll talk a bit more about later. And you're never alone. It's almost like past clients have called it a sisterhood.
Well, yeah, I was just literally thinking that this kind of reminds me of, like, you know, when I've tried to go for new projects and things, and you know, I've got my group of friends who will kind of be willing me on and supporting me on, and whether I fall flat on my face, it doesn't really matter because they're there to say it's fine, well, on to the next one. Let me bring you into this, Mel, because as I mentioned earlier, you're one of the volunteers at Dress for Success Greater London. What is that like? Because you must just kind of, you know, firstly forge new friendships, but also really get to see the whole journey of what a woman's going through to want to get back into work and following through to when they do.
Yeah, so it's very... I started volunteering a few months ago, and I've volunteered at various places, but when I said to Samantha and to some of the ladies in the office, when I got there, I just felt like I belonged. I'm like, okay, this is it. I found my place. This is where I feel a true passion for it. I really feel it and see it firsthand. The women walking through the door, and as Samantha said, they walk in and they hold themselves, not all, but in a certain way. I get to spend an hour to 2 hours with them, some interview coaching, kind of like just getting them hyped. You know, they're showing up for themselves. Like coming in that door just for the first time, that's a big step for them. And I'm just there to be a cheerleader. And then we get to the fun part of, you know, we get to pick a wardrobe for them. Nice. I'm a personal stylist, you know.
Love that.
And we do before and after photos, and it's kind of part of the fun. It's like, you know, you're going on a little shopping spree, and you have someone to pick out clothing for you. And you see it just in that an hour to 2 hours, the transformation that happens. Yeah. You see the before picture when, you know, the shoulders maybe, but then at the end, I would say, like, you know, there's a lot of hip popping.
Nice.
But, you know, when the last photo is taken, and everyone just, you know, a lot of the women, the most common comment I hear at the after the dressing is done is I feel so professional. I
How
look so
wonderful.
professional. Sometimes they'll say it doesn't even look like me.
Yeah.
But just watching their facial when they look in the mirror,
Yeah.
it is, the whole, my kids, when they were younger, brought back a book from the library, and it's like, have you filled, filling someone's bucket? And it's just, you go out and you try to make, you try to pass along kindness.
Yes, of course.
But then when you're filling someone else's bucket and you're making them feel happy, you feel good as well. So it's a very rewarding volunteer position.
It just sounds amazing, because it comes around full circle in that not only are you helping, with support for these women, but you get to kind of enjoy in some of those moments of success. I'm also taken by the fact, Samantha, that, oftentimes women will be support systems for everyone around them.
Yeah.
Aside for themselves.
Yeah.
And is that what Dress for Success is really about, is to kind of say to these women, well, now it's your turn to celebrate yourself.
Exactly, it is. And what we say is, when a woman moves into economic empowerment, it's not just her, it's her family, it's the impact it has on her children.
Totally.
So definitely it's important work that we do.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do it without our amazing volunteers, as I said last time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also what I would say is, we don't get at the moment government funding. So we are very much reliant on the amazing relationships we have with corporate organisations.
Okay.
So that's definitely...
It's important for people to know that. And if there's anyone listening who wants to support, it's dressforsuccessgl.org. I remember as a young girl, like, my mother's one prerequisite when I was growing up, and I still to this day can remember it very clearly, my mother and my father taking me, and other banks are available, but this is my personal story. I think I was 9, and my mum and my dad took me to Hounslow High Street, it was where I grew up, and we went to Nationwide Building Society, and my mum and my dad showed me that I was going to open my first account, like a savings account. And I'll never forget my mother saying to me, always, for the rest of your life, you have to have your own account. I never quite understood why she said that to me then. Now, as a mother, I get it. I want my daughter to have, as you've said, that kind of independence, that financial independence. Yes, you can be in a relationship, but there is something in terms of being a woman and having something that belongs to you that it gives you that independence in a way, doesn't it? Whether it's financial or otherwise.
Definitely. And I think, part of some of the workforce programs that we do include financial literacy, and getting that right level of support, and signposting as well to the right level of support for whatever the woman's position is in terms of what they're facing.
Let's delve a little bit more into that. Sherry, you've been waiting patiently. Thank you for that. I know you're currently taking part in the Workforce Development Programme. So what's that been like? What's the whole experience been like for you?
If I'm honest, it was amazing. The welcome smiles you get from the moment you walk in.
Yes.
And the warmth of knowing you're not on your own. And
That's
like the sisterhood you make, the friends, the networking, the care, everything is amazing. I mean, I know Samantha and Mel mostly focused on the financial side of it.
Sure.
But mentally, like emotionally, the support you get. And also you mingle with other ladies there, and that you hear about the struggles. So this is kind of... It helps you to kind of boost your confidence and think, okay, it's not just me.
You're not alone.
Yeah, I'm not alone. And also, another thing is you don't question yourself. Is it me? Is it my skills? Did I act some way in my interviews? Did I say something?
Sure.
And then when you talk to other ladies and you say, oh, okay, so the market is really not good. It's not just me,
Sure.
So, and then when you talk to volunteers and, like they boost your confidence, and then the work development days is amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm encouraging all the corporates to give us a hand and help us, because for example, in one of the work development days with JP Morgan, I learned so much.
Really?
Yeah.
And it helps you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, I went home knowing, okay, so likes of me are working for JP Morgan, so I am sellable.
Yeah.
I am good. It's just...
What do you mean by that? Did you feel what, if you don't mind me asking, was it your gender? Was it your age? What did you feel like the likes of me? What does that mean for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like mostly the age. Mostly the age. And also, like seeing other ladies, in their late 40s, early 50s, they are still employed, they are working, they are active.
Yeah.
They are, like they are giving back to the society. It's not like, okay, so, just I lost one job and then I'm done with life. It could happen to anyone.
Absolutely.
In your 20s, in your 30s, you know. So it's no difference. And so, like, as I mentioned, I went home with the whole mock interviews at JP Morgan, and then, having it with other ladies, the volunteers, is just boost your confidence. You kind of get to the gist of it. Okay, so I'm good, but I have to improve on this.
We all need to improve, don't we? But it's sometimes having that help and support of an understanding what we need to improve on. I guess my final questions for all of you. Firstly, for yourself, Sherry, what would you say to anyone who's tuned in to Radio London and maybe they've been feeling similarly to how you felt before you came to success, Dress for Success? What would you want to say to them?
I would say, honestly, come to Dress for Success. Make this sisterhood going. We need each other. We need each other's help. We need each other to boost our confidence, to support each other, and then it helps you. It helps you mentally, emotionally, and by that, when you gain your mental strength, you're gonna be more ready to get yourself ready for the future interviews. And you are amazing. You're good. You are sellable. Go for it, sisters.
Oh, I love that. I love the confidence. And I really do believe that's going to help many of our listeners tuning in, Sherry. So thank you so much. And Mel, on the other side of that coin, as Samantha was saying, this is very much charitable organisation. Support is needed. If someone's got spare time and they're thinking of volunteering, this is clearly something you've really enjoyed. This is, as you say, what you want to continue doing. What would you want to say?
I would definitely say, if you love fashion, if you're a people person, if you love being around female and feeling like you want to empower other females, and you just want to you have something to give. Everybody has something to give, and if you just want to come in, take a look around, and I promise you will not be disappointed. It's very much a rewarding volunteer experience. And like I said, I would say it's up there. No, not dissing other volunteer experiences. It's definitely, it's definitely the number one volunteer experience I've ever had.
You're
and
allowed
I don't
to
see.
say that.
I think like I said, I found my place.
Good.
And if you'll have me, I'll be here next year and the year after and the year after and the year after.
And you're allowed to say that because clearly I can see just from the smile on your face how much this means to you. People can go to DFS_Greater London on social media. Samantha, I just want to give you the last point of contact to say, because you mentioned the support that's required here for Dress for Success is just as vitally important for this continue to grow. So what did you want to say?
Yeah, definitely. So what I would say on the other women that are out there listening, we take referrals from referral organisations. So that could be a Job Centre Plus or any sort of charity that helps people into work. I would say on the volunteering front, check out our website. Yeah. We are in desperate need of retail volunteers. We have a charity shop in St James's Park Station. Nice. And all of the money that's made from that charity shop goes into, continuing on the services.
Sure.
So definitely. And then if there are any corporate executives out there, multi-year deals would be the only way we can expand and grow and do more of this great work.
I said this to you last year and I say it again. I hope you'll come back. It's great to follow the journey. Samantha, Sherry and Mel, thank you for joining me today, ladies. Thank you. Real pleasure having you here on BBC Radio London. It's just fantastic to see, as you say, as you call it, the sisterhood growing in support of many women based in London. It's dressforsuccessgl.org for more details. Time now is 5:01. Let's get the news headlines on Radio London with Will Schindler.
On the BBC Sounds app.